All right, guys, welcome back. So today we are doing a Q&A. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds, so I'm going to be answering questions around weight loss. Do you have to starve yourself to lose weight? Do you have to eat less? A lot of people think you have to eat like a tiny bit of food in order to lose weight. And I am here to tell you, you don't. And I'm also just going to answer a lot of questions that I feel maybe there's just like a misconception. There's also just maybe a lot of doubt around it. So we're gonna get started with first question being, how do I lose weight without starving, right? So a lot of people think, again, that you have to eat 1,200 calories a day. You have to be at the gym 7 days a week, working out 2 hours a day. I've been there, done that. Trust me, when I tell you that I have tried everything known to man. I've done calorie deficit, I've gone vegan, I've done raw vegan, paleo, keto, what else? Oh my gosh, I've just done so many like unhealthy things as well. I was at an extreme calorie deficit, working out 2 hours a day, literally just trying to eat less, move more, because growing up, that was definitely something that was talked about. And I didn't know any better. We didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have YouTube, we had nothing. So I'm so glad to be here, to be able to share my knowledge, to be able to share my tips, because I know that they're super helpful to a lot of you. So make sure that you guys share my channel with friends and family, share my meal plan. If you are trying to lose weight and you are stuck, you hit a plateau, the scale's not moving fast enough, I literally walk you through everything, hold you by your hand, walk you through breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts. I also share my knowledge on intermittent fasting, if that's something that you're interested in. There's a lot in there, but it's definitely a go-to. If you have not picked it up and you are just getting started or struggling, then make sure you grab that. I'll leave that linked in the description below. Do I have to eat a tiny bit of food? So I'm gonna tell you right now why it does not work. Okay, starving yourself does not work. It might work short term. So you're like, oh, Myra, like I do it all the time and it works for me. Yeah, if you do it for maybe a week, 2 weeks, yeah, you're going to lose weight. You're going to see the scale move. Why? Because you're in a calorie deficit. But if you're in an extreme calorie deficit, you have to understand that our bodies are survivors, right? They are meant to keep us alive. Like our bodies are so much smarter than we actually think. So if your baseline is, let's just say 2,000 calories a day. That's what it takes for you to breathe, for you to talk, for you to just function as a human being, right? Okay, you're at 2,000 and all of a sudden you bring it down to 1,500. Are you gonna lose weight? Absolutely. Absolutely, you're going to lose weight. But you need a certain amount of calories just to function, again, basic functions as a human. So the lower you bring it down, your body has to adjust. Like you cannot eat 300 calories a day. Like your body has to adjust and it has to bring down your base level to that level, because your body's not gonna let you just, like disappear, right? So, and I hope I'm making myself, like, I hope I'm explaining this properly, but the lower you drop your calories, your body is going to adjust to that. So now, when before it was 2,000 just for your normal basic body functions, now it's dropped down to, let's just say 1,200 calories. So in order for you to lose any weight from there by like not eating, you'd have to eat less than that. So that's why a lot of people talk about like ruining their metabolism, messing up their, this is one of the biggest things that happens. We lower our baseline. And so now in order to lose any weight from there, you have to lower it even more. That is one of the reasons why it doesn't work. It's also not sustainable long-term, right? Unless you plan on eating that way for the rest of your life, then whenever you start to eat your normal amount of calories again, then you will gain the weight. Starving yourself will also backfire, okay? What happens is you are going to restrict. Your body will get to a point where it will literally just like, it will lash out and then you will binge, okay? And your girl is telling you this from experience. There's a lot in my earlier days that I'm not proud of that I went through just to lose the weight. and keep it off because I have maintained my weight for over 15 years, okay, which is great. But now I do it in a way where I eat normal. Back in the day, I would do it from like semi-starving myself, going to the gym, trying to burn off all the calories I ate throughout the day. It was a whole thing. Hang on, I'm over here. Look at my PJ set. This one is so cute. This is from a brand called Negative. And Negative, thank you for sponsoring this video. I love your PJs. I love your sets. They are so soft, like literally buttery soft. They feel so luxurious. They look super cute. If you are a pajama girly, someone that loves to just like look cute around the house, these are it. Like they are soft, they are comfy, so much that like I literally feel like I almost sleep better at night. Like it's literally, it is that serious. One of the things that I love about Negative is that they keep real people in mind. From every stitch to strap to hem, like it is made to make women feel empowered, to feel confident, to feel comfortable, all in one. So I absolutely love them. This is the baby pink. I just love, it has like a little white trim all around. So I will leave them linked in the description below. I'll also leave a QR code here so you can check out all their PJs and everything that they have, which is super, super cute. If you are that girly that loves to be in cute little PJs, then definitely check them out. Okay, I don't want to get off track here, but definitely no starving. We already know that will end up leading to a binge, which can then lead into a cycle, and then it's a whole thing. So starving ourselves is an absolute no. Okay. Now, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, that you understand that eating less does not necessarily mean that you're going to lose more weight. Okay. Now, what you do want to do is focus on what you're eating. Now, protein, right? So high protein foods, we already know chicken, beef, ground beef is the one that I'm going to tell you, stock up, make sure you have that daily. It works wonders. My daughter lost a little over 50 pounds in 4.5 months, 50 pounds. She stopped eating out. She started focusing on protein. I'm actually gonna probably interview her here for you, so that you can just ask, maybe we'll do like a Q&A or something, but I love her story because she's so young and she wasn't tainted with like so many diets and so many things out there. All she knows is mom and low carb. And so when she wanted to do this, I was like here for it, but she wanted to do her own style and it effing worked. Like, and I love that for her because at such a young age, she realized what will work for her and her body for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? But like I say that because ground beef was definitely a staple in her diet. But she has been telling me, she's like, Mom, I'm ready to make some content. So I'm happy because I know she can help so many people. Okay, now another thing that you want to focus on is high volume foods. So high volume foods, these are foods that are going to make you feel full. These are foods that you're going to look at and you're going to be like, wow, like they're pleasing to the eye. They're like, a lot of times when you have very nutrient dense foods or like high, even if they're healthy fats and proteins are going to be a lot less than your veggies, right? So veggies are your high fiber, high volume. So that's going to add, like if you scramble 2 eggs, so you'll probably have like a little, scramble this big. But if you add mushrooms and asparagus and you add some peppers and let's say some zucchini and you mix that into 2 eggs, now all of a sudden you have an omelet this big or a scramble this big. So from something like this to this, big difference. It doesn't add a lot of calories. It doesn't add fat. It does add fiber. It adds the vitamins and minerals. So anyway, you probably already know that, but bulk, okay? It adds, so if you're someone who likes to eat a lot of food, then you wanna make sure that you incorporate these veggies into your meals. Yeah, okay, and then another thing that we don't talk about enough is the snacking. Now, your girl is a snacker. I am guilty of it. I'm so guilty of being a snacker, but at least I'm snacking on protein. I'm snacking on hard-boiled eggs, on beef jerky. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll snack on things that I shouldn't, like some Drizzlicious or something like that, but for the most part, I make sure that it's something nutritious, something that's actually gonna nourish my body. I really try to focus on that. So make sure that you are eating real meals instead of snacking, when you have a real meal and you sit down and you're having like a full meal with your protein and your veggies or your carbs, right? So veggies are obviously our carbs, your protein, your carbs, and your healthy fats, and you are eating until you are fully satiated and satisfied, you're not gonna want to snack in an hour or two. Like your meal should be able to hold you over until your next meal. And I'm guilty of it, and when I do it, I know it works. So I have bad habits. Okay, your girl has bad habits. Okay, now how much protein should I eat? That was a big question. Like, how much protein should I be eating, Myra? Okay, so rule of thumb is it's roughly 1 gram. Okay, so 1 gram of protein per pound. And I would say use your goal weight as the guide. So if you weigh, let's just say you weigh 220 pounds, instead of eating 220 grams of protein a day, I would say if your goal is to get down to like 170 pounds, then I would use the 170 grams of protein a day. Okay, and it can be between 0.7 and 1 gram, because that's a lot of protein. I mean, like, you really have to be super conscious of like every single thing that goes into your body in order for you to hit that goal. Trust me when I tell you that. So that's that. I would say roughly between 1.7 to 1 gram of protein per your ideal goal weight, okay? Now, do carbs make you gain weight? So a lot of people think like, oh, Myra, you're low carb, you've been like keto. Like, do you feel that carbs are like the enemy, right? Are carbs the enemy? And my answer is no, they're not. I eat carbs every single day. Even when I was keto, I ate carbs. It's just about how much, right? And what type of carbs. So like when I talk about carbs, I'm talking about veggies. That is usually the form of carbs that I like to consume, with the exception of like my low carb tortillas that I like. Those have 30 calories. They have 3 net carbs. Once in a while I do have that. It's more of a treat, but I don't have it like every day. I do have little things like the Drizzlicious, which again, those I'll have like less than a handful of that. Little things like that are carbs that I should not be really like having. Okay, not that I shouldn't be having, but if I have a goal in mind and I really want to hit that goal, then I want to be strict. I want to be like focused, because when you are focused and you're consistent, you're going to see results, right? So that's what we really want to keep in mind. But are carbs the enemy? No, they're not. Are carbs going to make you gain weight? No. What's going to make you gain weight is a calorie surplus. It's eating too many calories. That's what makes you gain weight. Ultimately, like, I know some people are like, oh, like I'm carnivore and I can eat 5,000 calories. Great. But most people are not carnivores, and most people are still having carbs. They're still having sugar. So unless you are eating carnivore and unless your body has adapted to eating strictly meat and fats, then no, we cannot eat 5,000 calories. That is not what we're going to do, because you are going to see, you are going to gain some weight. So it really just depends on what you're eating, how you're eating, your lifestyle, right? I am low carb, and even with me, I do have carbs. I do have rice. I do have sweet potatoes, not daily and not all the time. I usually try to time it around my menstrual cycle, because as women need to almost think of it as a must for like hormone purposes, okay? Men don't really have to deal with this, but we do. And so when, for me, it's usually like a week before I start my menstrual cycle is when I do more carbs. And I feel like it's my body just getting ready, because, we're getting ready to menstruate. And then when I'm actually on my cycle, that's when I eat even more red meat, more like, and I don't like to eat it, but like my mom, she makes liver, and it's just great because we need. I've always been iron deficient, and so ever since I lost all my weight, I've never really been able to. I'm probably in a good place right now. My hemoglobin is probably like at a 12 to 13, which I'm happy about. So anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but if you have questions for me, ask, and then I'm happy to do like sit down videos like this where we're just chatting. But okay, why am I not losing weight in a calorie deficit? Now, here's the thing. If you are too much in a calorie deficit, what'll happen is, we talked about it earlier today, your body has to lower your baseline, because obviously we're not going to disappear. So your body has to adjust. So if your calories are too low, if your body didn't adjust, you would just continue to lose weight, right? So your body's not going to do that. And so what happens is it lowers your baseline. So then it has to be like a whole thing. Like if that has happened, then you have to, there's a lot that goes into it, actually, a lot that goes into it. So let me know if that's something that you're struggling with, like you have really damaged your metabolism, you've dropped down to like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, and now you're like afraid to eat anything more because you start to gain weight. Let me know, and then I can tell you my personal experience. And everything that I say, I want to tell you, like, I'm not just pulling this out of like thin air. I have been there, done that. Like I've made all of these mistakes. I have been through binging, through starvation, I've done all of that. So everything that I talk to you is just from personal experience. And if I can help you not go through the issues and the everything that I went through, because of course it's like so disheartening sometimes to not be eating and like to go through all of this, and then you cannot, like, you still don't see the goals and the results that you want, then I get it. Okay, now let me run through a few things that might be happening, because you might think you're in a calorie deficit, but you're having 2 or 3 coffees a day, and your coffees have either heavy cream or they have coffee creamer or whatever the case is. You have to understand that one serving size for those coffee creamers is so teeny tiny. When you're doing like a good splash in there, there's at least 4 servings, at least. And so remember, that is all sugar. So usually just on a low end, this isn't even a sweet coffee or anything, you're having like 20 to 30 grams of sugar per coffee. Now, let's say you're having 2 to 3 coffees a day. So imagine that, right? So that's a lot of sugar. Another thing is sometimes oils, right? Easily. 1 tablespoon is 100 calories. That's a lot of calories. So even though I would say like don't focus solely on calories, they are important, and ultimately it is still a scientific fact. Like in order for you to see the scale move, you still need to be in a calorie deficit. But it doesn't have to be a crazy calorie deficit. It's just a small daily calorie deficit at the end of the week adds up, right? And so that's more, I don't like to look at things like daily, because then it puts too much pressure on the day. I'm more of a like, okay, let's think about the week. Like, how did we do this week? And then that way you take the weekends into account as well, because sometimes you'll do so well during the week, and then here comes the weekend and we're like, it's the weekend, like YOLO. And then you're like, treat yourself, right? Trust me, I have that mentality. I'm always like, all right, girl, like, what are we craving? And your girl's wanting to go to Yogurtland. Mind you, during the week, I won't even touch like a piece of apple, because I'm like, no, it has too much sugar, you know? And I'm not that crazy. I love apple with like high protein yogurt and some peanut butter. It's like literally my favorite snack. But that was a bad example. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes I won't touch certain things throughout the week. And then here comes the weekend, and I'm like, you know, I'm out here trying to go get a beignet from downtown Disney. Yeah, so so oils, sauces, ranch, all of that. Sometimes if you're eating a salad and you drench it in ranch, make your own ranch, make a high protein ranch. Yeah, it could be water retention. Okay, so if you're having a lot of carbs and your body is retaining water, water is obviously very heavy. So, and don't get me wrong, we're made 70% of our body is water, but if you're retaining it, then that's gonna reflect on the scale, right? So, but that can happen from eating salty foods, from even from not hydrating enough, then your body retains it, because again, remember, our bodies are so smart, they're survivors. If it knows that you do not drink a lot of water, it's gonna hold on to as much as it can. It could also be from hormones, it could be from stress, all of that can also cause water retention. And then one of the biggest things is consistency, right? Like if you do it for 1 week, or let's just say the week, and then the weekend you're like done, you know, then you're obviously not following through the entire week. I would say if you really want to see these results, one, I talk about this in my meal plan. Again, the meal plan is linked in the description below. Yeah, there is nothing more important than staying consistent, because if you're 3 days on, 2 days off, 1 week on, 1 week off, you're never going to see the results that you want. And you also need to remember that this is like a lifestyle change, right? This is not a quick fix. Like if you are naturally, let's just say, a meat eater, and you're like, I'm going to go vegan. Like I need to lose weight like yesterday. Hot girl summer is here and like I need to be ready for it, right? But you're a carnivore, like you love meat, like you love a good ribeye, you love ground beef, like you're a salmon girl, like you know what I mean? Like you are that person, and then you go vegan and you lose 20 pounds because all of a sudden you're not having a lot of the processed junk that you typically have, you're not having this or that, and you're like really, really focused. But what we have to understand here is that if you don't plan to live a vegan lifestyle for the rest of your life or for, you know, years to come, as soon as you go back to eating the foods that you were eating prior to going vegan, then little by little that weight is all going to creep back on, right? So I always suggest is find your way. Like find what is going to work for you long term, even if it takes a little longer. This isn't a race. Like this is a forever thing, right? This is we're going to lose the weight, and this is not, we are not gaining it back. Now, moving on to, do I need to cut out my favorite foods? Like, do I need to never ever eat Oreos again or whatever the case is? Short answer, no. But if you are just getting started, I would say yes. Do not eat anything that is a trigger food for you, that is gonna make you wanna eat a whole box of them. It's gonna make you go into like a little spiral where you're like, oh my God, now I'm like in a snacky mode. Because think about it, when you have carbs, when you have junk, processed junk, first of all, that food is meant to be overeaten. It is meant to be highly addictive. So stay away as much as you possibly can. But will I say not like for you not to eat it? No, because in order for this to be a lifestyle for you, you are definitely gonna have foods that you are used to eating from childhood if you want. I have eliminated so many, and it's not a diet thing, it's because it hurts my stomach thing. And like I used to be a huge Doritos fan, and I would absolutely love to put down Doritos with sour cream and dip. And it just started hurting my stomach years back. And so now, even though that was like one of my absolute favorite snacks, I cannot eat them at all. So I think it's like, as I've cleaned up my diet, like my body has definitely gotten like more sensitive to certain foods. But what I'm gonna say is, if you are just getting started, stay away from a lot of the foods that could trigger you to want more for at least a month. You know what I mean? Like give yourself a solid month and see that scale move and see the results. You'll start to see it in the mirror. You'll start to feel good. You'll start to see what's working for you. And then when you actually incorporate one of those foods, you're gonna see how you feel, and you're gonna see the scale. And then you're gonna make a decision and see, like, if every day you've been losing half a pound to a pound or something along those lines, and that's a lot. But like, let's just say you've been consistently losing 2 to 3 pounds a week, and all of a sudden you have one of your favorite foods, and for that week you only lost half a pound or none, but you know that everything else was the same, then you're gonna make the decision and be like, was that worth that one treat? Was it worth me not losing the weight that I've been losing every week just for that one treat that I ate 4 days ago in like 2 minutes or 1 minute or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? So then that's something that's your decision. That is going to be your choice. And if you feel that it is worth it, great. You just know that everything has a reaction, right? There's a consequence to everything. So if you want to eat it, of course you can. You can eat whatever you want. But if you want to see the scale move for that week, or if you want to see the results by summer, then you just want to be very, very mindful of that. But long term, we're talking, this is your lifestyle. You've already hit your goal weight. Now we're just talking about health. Yes. I mean, I go out and I have French fries with ranch from like burger spots once in a while. I love it. Like French fries are my weakness. And then why is protein so important? Protein is super important because it helps maintain your muscle mass. It also helps keep you full. It helps burn more calories, okay? So it like the more muscle you have in your body, the more calories your body naturally burns. And of course, calories, you know, we want our metabolism to be like on fire because yeah, it's just going to give you better results. Overall, like the quicker and faster our metabolism is working, obviously, the more food we can eat, the better we're gonna feel. It's just like a whole thing. I love to eat. Eating is my favorite thing to do. Literally my favorite thing to do. You wanna make me happy? Take me to eat. Like I want food, I want the snacks, I want all of that. But of course, like I'm also very mindful of everything. So like I do it, but within reason, right? Like I'm not out here picking out every day just because I'm like YOLO. No, I have goals too. Like I do have goals, even though I've lost my weight, 135 pounds actually. Been maintaining it for so long. I still like now I'm more of a like body recomp. Like I want to turn a lot of like my fat into muscle, and I do. Your girl has fat. I have dimples on my legs and butt and the whole nine. But I'm at peace with it now. I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. This is who I am. Like I'm not gonna be like this stick skinny girl. And sometimes you get to a point in life where you're like, I love me. Like I love who I am as a person. You know I have a good heart. Like I literally don't hate a single person in this world. I try to put out good vibes. Like I know that I'm like a good person, and me having like cellulite on my legs or, you know, dimples or, you know, me not being a size 4 or a size 2, whatever, does not make me any less attractive, does not make me any less of a person. Like our body, our weight is only one, like it should not even matter. Like it should not matter, but society just puts so much pressure on us as women to like maintain this unrealistic goal, right, of what the beauty standard is. And I hate it. I hate it. Like one day I would love to do like public speaking and like talk about all the damage. Cause trust me, as a kid, like as a young adult, I was so damaged with thinking of like what my body needed to look like. And I just put so much pressure and I did really stupid things to try to get there. And it's a lot. It makes me get emotional because I remember like young Myra and like everything she went through to try to, and it wasn't even about fitting in, but it was just maybe fitting into society, not so much like in a circle, because I've always had like a tight circle. It was more like the big picture, right? So I know a lot of people, especially millennials, can relate. I feel like nowadays, most of you know I have a daughter. I have a 15-year-old daughter, my nappy girl. Their generation is very different. Like their generation they are like so much more about body positivity, about accepting themselves as is. And like, I love that for them because we did not go, that was not us. Millennials went through it. But anyway, okay. And we are going to finish off with how long does weight loss take? Okay. So you're like, Myra, okay, like I'm going to do all this. Like how long does it actually take for me to lose weight? Okay. Now I don't want to really go off of like the standard, like what textbook standard, because they'll say like, oh, you can lose about 1/2 pound to 2 pounds a week. That's usually what is recommended, which is fine. Like you can definitely lose 1/2 pound to 2 pounds a week. I will say if you needed to, and you're just like, I need to lose weight for a trip. I need to lose weight for my wedding, for my birthday, for my whatever. If you want to see the scale move every single day, okay? Personal, again, not a doctor, not a nutritionist here. This is from personal experience. Anything that I tell you, it's not anything like unhealthy. Like I'm telling you to eat, right? But it's what you're going to eat. If you stick to, and mind you, this is all in my ultra low carb meal plan, by the way, because I have a few meal plans. It's my ultra low carb meal plan that is going to tell you, basically give you the guideline to this: ground beef, eggs, avocado, You can do some veggies. I would do veggies that are like really low carb, like asparagus, mushrooms. I love onion, and I don't think that it affects me. Onions do have traces of sugar, but if you want to see the scale literally move while you're actually nourishing your body, like this is crazy. Like you are feeding your body. I'm not talking about eating small amounts, like sit down and eat. If you need something sweet, you can make like a yogurt, do like a little yogurt parfait. That would be like dessert, but stick to meat. So salmon, steak, ground beef, but ground beef be number one, any type of protein, and literally just do ultra low carb. You will see that scale move every single day, like even ounces or whatever the case is, but you will see it. And try it, be consistent, and then come back and let me know. Let me know how that went for you. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to sit here. I want to try and do like little Q&As with you because I know that these questions are super helpful. I want you to succeed. I want you to actually hit your goals. And of course, if I can help you by sharing my knowledge, sharing my tips, things that help me over the years, then that makes me so, so happy. I love running into you when I'm out and about and hearing stories. Yeah, sometimes I get emotional as well because I know what it feels like, and I know how impactful it was. I know how much my life changed after I lost all my weight. And so, yeah, I love to hear your stories as well. So if you ever see me out, please don't be shy. I have people, you know, that I run into all the time, and I love it. I love taking selfies with you. I love talking about your stories. So do not feel, don't feel shy to come up to me. But that is the little Q&A for today. Leave me some questions down below. I'll try to do maybe a couple a month. Maybe if it's something that can be turned into like a series where I'm sitting here and like literally answering questions, I would love that, because ultimately I am here. I'm here to help you. Like I want you to be able to come on my page and not only get the knowledge, but also get delicious recipes that are going to help you along the way. Summer's around the corner, so I also want to start. I'm a big salad girly, so I'm going to start making salads. So let me know in the comments, what do you want to see? Like lighter, delicious meals. I do make a lot of my dressings from scratch, so I'm also going to be doing that. Like just little things like that I feel like are going to be so helpful, and then are just going to help you crush your goals. Crush them. I have goals. Hot girl summer. I'm literally like, I have a Europe trip planned, and that's my goal. So Europe trip planned this summer. I want to, I want to be consistent. Yeah, I just want to feel good in some of the things that I'm taking. So anyway, but thank you for being here. Leave me some questions down below. Please share my channel. You help me so much when you share with your friends and family. Share my meal plan, especially if you know someone who needs to lose weight and doesn't know where to start. Yeah, is just kind of confused about things, because it could be super, super helpful. But anyway, thank you for being here with me. Leave your comments, and I will see you on my next video. I love you. Mwah.